Here I am at one of the dams. There are 7 on this property. This is the lowest one before it goes into the next door neighbour's property and into their catchment. They have a couple of really nice dams. This one was landscaped at some stage, so it has had work done to it, but it's been overgrown for the last 20-30 years. The last several owners didn't do anything with it. Anyhow, we'll walk down there now. Right now we're walking through a pine forest that was planted here, so it's a plantation, I guess. There's about 70 pines in here, different sizes. There's a couple that are huge, about 3 foot across or 3 foot in diameter. Some not even 300 in diameter, but they're all about the same age. It just depends on where they were and how much water they got, I guess. So there's one right next to me. This is one of the smaller ones. I'm not sure what sort of pine it is, actually. I should find out. I should know, but I don't. Are you whinging? The dog is whinging. The biggest issue around this dam is actually the pine needles, because they get into it and they take forever to decompose. And other than those, there is a lot of camphor laurel. Now, camphor laurel is a beautiful timber, but it's a terrible tree. There's also Chinese celtis, a few lilies. I've forgotten what type they are. Not the native Australian lilies. Not in the dam. Not much growing in the dam except algae. But we'll get down there in a moment. But there's lots of species that shouldn't be in here. There's also this one here, which I can't figure out what it is, but it's obviously got a little bit of soot on it. Now the soot, it's interesting, is from another native tree here, although not a local native. It's the kadagi, or kadaji as other people call it. There's quite a lot of them through here. Someone planted about 500 of them, and they're huge. So I think the name is Corymbia torrelliana, but they're a North Queensland tree, not a Southeast Queensland tree. And I'm at the north end of the Sunshine Coast. So semi-rainforesty, wet eucalypt forest here naturally. I mean, it's the middle of winter, and I'm in a t-shirt. It's beautiful. I love it. Not too chilly though. But one of the things I want to do in this area is to turn this pine forest back into leave it as just a pine forest and strip it of all the camphor laurels, and there's a lot of them. And not much else grows in a pine forest. I dare say it's due to the pine needles taking so long to decompose, and maybe there's something in the pine itself that makes it difficult, that retards the growth of other things. I don't know. But I'll find out at some stage. But this is all overgrown. All of it's overgrown. But eventually, as you can see, those pines are fairly tall and nice and straight too, which is great. I'm not sure how tall they are, 45, 50 meters. Maybe not quite that big, 40. We'll say 40. And the rest of it's coming out. Camphor laurel. Camphor laurel, camphor laurel, camphor laurel. All of them. There's lots of camphor laurel everywhere. I don't know the name of the camphor laurel tree. This is the leaf. If you crunch it up and smell it, which you can't, I'll do it for you. It's camphor. Anyhow, beautiful timber. Absolutely stunning timber. Really hard to work because it gets up your nose and it smells like it should clear your nostrils, but it actually doesn't. It does the opposite. Whatever. Anyhow, it's going as much of it as I can. It's a real pest in this entire region. There's also a lot of what they call cocos palms. I can't get this camera thing to work properly. Slowly. I will turn it around so you can't see my smelly face. Well, it's not smell-o-vision. There are a lot of cocos palms on this property too, which are also a pest, an invasive species, and we're going to get rid of them. Plus, there is also, what's the stuff that's everywhere and everyone hates it, but it's really good for bird life? Lantana. Lantana. There's a lot of lantana in this area. So I'm going to flip you around, and that means I have to press stop because I don't know how to do it automatically. I'll figure it out eventually. Here we are, walking down across the dam, which is there. It's only a small dam, and as you can see from the other side, there's a lot of granite. and it's been landscaped at some stage. Would have taken quite a bit of effort to do that, but it's not in good condition. So on the other side you get a lot of camphor laurels, and these palms are crocus palms, which are awful, and there's a pine there. That's probably obviously a volunteer. I don't think it was a plant on that side. And a lot of this bracken fern, which is a pain. So I'm going to strip that side completely of all those palms and landscape it with lower native stuff. So there's actually a terrace here. It's been terraced up there. So all that area will get landscaped with local natives, and not just, hopefully local natives, if not at least close to non-invasive local natives. So here, crocus palm, camphor laurel. No, that's a Chinese celtis. Camphor laurel there, and lots of pines. It's a bit sludgy here because this is, this is our dry season. So it's very low. It's about 1 meter lower than it is in summer. But we've had enough rain and to keep it up this year. It was, so this time last year was pretty low. It was another, maybe 1 meter lower than that. At the moment, it's about 2 meters deep here. Approximately 2. It's a bit higher than my head, but it really stinks because it's very anaerobic. I have to redo this entire edge at some stage. Maybe, as you can see, it's eroded over time. So we'll do something outside, but I wanted to make a really nice walk through the pine forest. It's not a big area. It's only about maybe half an acre, that area. So eventually it'll become a very nice place to wander, and then eventually it'll become worth something because the pine will be cut down. And they're very, very straight, which is very, very good. Now see, there's the crocus palms, horrible things. I'll turn around. I probably won't go too far, as this is now getting really long. So on this side here is just covered in grass, obviously. This is the spillway from the large dam, or the larger dam at the top. Well, our biggest dam anyway. So this area here, it's hard to see, but the dam, the spillway is up there, and it comes down here, and it runs in sort of a creekish fashion along that edge, comes down here, and then flows into the dam. Now, during the 2021 floods, 2022, whatever it was, I would be standing in probably 2 meters of water. It was horrific. I'll see if I can put some footage on. It'll be somewhere and I can show you that. Here is where our biggest issue will be. This is the dam wall. Now it's been let go over the last however long. I've only been here 18 months. But that dam wall has trees on it. And trees in dam walls is bad because it'll make it leak at some stage because the roots will get into the dam itself. It's mostly Chinese celtis. There's a poplar, I think that's a poplar. Oh, come on, camera. I think that's a poplar of some sort. Then we've got Chinese celtis, and there's an acacia, which is a local native, but it shouldn't be on the dam wall. And of course, lantana, and lots and lots and lots and lots of lantana. Although, compared to everything else here, it's not too bad. I'm a little bit worried about getting rid of the lantana here because we have quite a lot of small birds, and the ones that roost in here or nest in here are the red-backed fairy wrens, and they're super cute. They're so tiny, and the male is red with a red back, and the females are, well, drab, but still cute. Anyhow, we'll go turn around. Come on, slowly, camera. There is it doesn't matter. I'll just tell you. There's a silky oak that is growing in there, which will stay there. Right. So this area here will be great when it's landscaped. Like I said, there'll be small trees, very small trees, no bigger than 3 meters, and lots of bushes and grasses, local native stuff anyway. And as you can see through there, that's where the neighbour's dam is, or one of the dams there. It's quite beautiful through there, picturesque. And there's the non-working wind pump. There are stairs that were put in here, and it's at the same at the other end too. There's another set of stairs which we found. They were completely covered, you couldn't see them. So all this granite was actually farmed off this property. There's an area which we'll get to right at the top of the property that is covered in granite. I'll have my fun with it eventually, and I'll make something out of that granite. So this is the spillway here into the next door neighbour's creek area. As you can see, lots of cow pats and cow problems next door. That's actually not the neighbour's, oh sorry, it is the neighbour's, but not the one I'm talking about. Little pocket in here, and then there's seen even more pines through there. I'll get one last shot before I stop boring you. So this is the angle. This is quite nice. It's a bit stinky in there, so eventually I'm hoping I can get an aerator of some sort in there. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe some sort of waterfall to keep the aeration up, which would be good, but not now. It's sometime in the future when I think of what I'm going to do here. So this is probably not the smallest. There's two other dams that are slightly smaller than this, but they serve a different purpose, I guess. You know, pond for every farm, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's it. So I'll turn myself around. So I hope that was relatively informative about what I want to do in this area. This is only a small section of what I want to do here. Sorry, a small section of the property. It's a 37.313 acre property. So there's a lot of areas to maintain. Well, sorry, not even maintain, not even a maintenance area, at maintenance point yet. We have to do other things here. But we'll get there eventually. Until then, I'll see you next time, if I can be bothered doing a video. See ya.